A lot of what we hear from passengers involves refunds, or the lack thereof, for passengers who experience cancellations and disruptions. In theory, passengers are already supposed to be refunded for a cancellation or a major delay. In practice, it often doesn't work that way. We hear again and again from passengers who describe how hard they have to push just to get the refunds that are owed to them. And often our consumer protection team has had to impose multi-million-dollar penalties on airlines just to get them to do what should already be required. With the first rule that we're announcing today, the Biden-Harris administration is now requiring that if an airline cancels or significantly delays your flight, within 7 days, they will be required to provide an automatic refund to the credit card that you used to book it without you having to call or wait on hold or sort through digital paperwork or haggle with that airline. Importantly, we are also changing the refund to clarify that it must be in cash by default unless a passenger actively chooses another form of compensation rather than the other way around. No more defaulting to vouchers or credits when consumers may not even realize that they are entitled to cash. We're also putting another rule on the books, protecting airline passengers from being surprised by fees. These charges can really add up for things like a checked bag, a carry-on bag, change fees, cancellation fees. Healthy competition requires that as a consumer, you comparison shop, which means knowing the real price of a trip before and not after you buy. So airlines will now be required to show you these costs up front so you have all the information you need to decide what travel option is best for you. We estimate this will save Americans over $500 million every year. But we know there is more to do, and we're not done. We are working on a rulemaking to expand rights to protect the safety and dignity of passengers who use wheelchairs, and another one to ban airlines from charging you a junk fee to sit together as a family. It's all in keeping with President Biden's vision on competition and consumer protection, including cracking down on junk fees to make everything from concerts to inhalers more affordable. These dollars and cents add up for millions of Americans, and our laser focus on making it easier, more affordable, and more convenient to navigate every system in America from healthcare to banking to air travel will continue. So the bulk of these protections will kick in about 6 months from when the rule goes into the Federal Register. We've been working on this for more than a year, but now it's time to take action. We know it'll take a little time to develop the mechanisms for that money to get back, but we really don't want the sector to drag its feet because passengers want and expect their money back now. Unsurprisingly, airlines are not enthusiastic about us holding them to a higher standard. But I believe that this is in the interest of the airline sector because it builds passengers' confidence in airlines as a whole. And I also know that they'll be able to adapt to this. Remember, when it comes to things like a refund for a cancellation, technically that was supposed to be the case the whole time. It's just it wasn't actually happening in practice. That's part of what this does. It also clarifies what a significant delay is, because up until now it's been up to the airline to decide if a delay was significant enough that you get your money back.